Hello again. I would like to maybe confess a little something to you this morning. My intention going into these videos is that I want to be very much in the present as I speak and in the heart and catching the information and just allowing it to flow through. I think that's important because not only is that a lovely practice that I'm wanting to do for myself, but it's also really important because if I'm in a heart-centered space when I'm recording, it will help you enter a heart-centered space while you're watching. That's how these things work. If you know David Hawkins' work, if you don't, look him up. He's brilliant. Power versus Force is one of the all-time best books, I think. And he was the fellow who essentially started using kinesiology or muscle testing for various things like testing the calibration of music and books, testing for what your body needs in terms of foods or supplements or medicines, and testing for the calibration of humanity, which I think is one of the most groundbreaking uses of his work. Important uses, really, is what I want to say, because that has made it completely clear that one person operating at a higher level of consciousness influences a vast number of people around the world working at lower levels of consciousness. Then that the higher the consciousness that one person goes to, the more people are uplifted, the more the energy field of the entire planet is uplifted. And I find that one of the most exciting things to come forth in recent decades. Most hopeful, for sure. So one of the things that came from his work as well is that whatever the energy calibration of the person doing an activity is the energy calibration that everyone partaking in that activity picks up on and is influenced by. For instance, when you cook with love, and this has been shown in, I'm not entirely familiar with the tests or how rigorous they are, but it has been shown that the energy that you cook with goes into the food, and the people eating that food take on that energy. We literally ingest the energy of the people cooking it. So when you cook with love and joy, that feeds your family or your friends or whoever you're cooking for with that energy. And if at the same time, well, I won't go into that. You can imagine for yourself, I'm sure, the corollaries of different ways, different energies we could bring to it. And David Hawkins tested for various things like music, musical groups, books, movies, and whatever the energy of that, of the people going into it, that's the energy that we get when we listen to it or read it or watch it. If you take a CD, for instance, and hold it against your heart and muscle test, if it's a positive calibration, like a high calibration of energy, you will test strong. Your muscles, your whole system is strengthened and empowered by that disc, even just holding it. Mozart, for instance, even just holding it lifts up the energy of everyone touching it. And even more so when you're actually listening to it. And conversely, putting a CD against your heart of, say, something that's coming from a much more negative energy field, like gangster rap or something, and you put that against your heart, and you muscle test, and it weakens your entire body, like your entire body shuts down to some degree. In case I need to explain this, muscle testing can give false answers if your calibration is significantly off, kind of reversed. So we need to make sure that we're clear in the first place in order to get accurate readings, but that's what he shows. So bringing forth that awareness into what I'm doing here with you guys, I want to inspire you in the best possible way. I want to give you the boost that you are desiring to live in a heartfelt place, in a heart-centered place, to live from higher consciousness and energy calibrations. My goal in life is to help as many people reach those states as possible. And the best way I can do that is by being in those energy calibrations myself when I'm recording. So my confession is that sometimes I am working from memory more. It'll often happen. This is how it happens. I get the idea for what's coming through today, and what the topic is for the day. Sometimes it comes through with just a seed that this is what I'm going to say. And I think, okay, well, that's going to take about 20 seconds. And that's going to be a really short video, but okay. And then once I start, actually, that's what's happened today. I thought this was going to be like a 1.5 minute video. And then when I start, all of this other stuff is allowed to flow. I'm just open and stuff is flowing through. Other days, it so much comes in one lump in the beginning. Like I'll come up with, I'll just sort of download this whole series of, this and this and this, and it means this and this and this, and these pieces and how it fits together. And can you see what I mean? There's like a whole lot of information coming through all at once. And because I'm memory challenged, I live in a kind of a different energy state than memory does, I think. But that's been particularly so while I've been ill and recovering. My memory is not strong. It's getting better, but it's still, there's often a delay factor. So if I were to sit here and just kind of open for a minute or so, I would probably recatch what it is that I want to say or that I was intending to say. But I don't want to make you sit here that long, so I think, okay, I need to remember these things, so I'll write them down, I'll make some notes, and then I'm coming more from, I'm still aiming and for the most part coming through a heart-centered place, but not entirely. And some days less than others because, that's how we roll. We're humans and we're going to be in different places, different days, and functioning at different levels at different times. So sometimes I take notes, and sometimes I even have to look at my notes. And in the interests of transparency, which is part of this practice and a key spiritual practice, especially for myself, in the interest of transparency, I wanted to be totally upfront about this and kind of share, just, share what's going on and what's real. I don't want to give an impression that I'm trying to be something I'm not, or that I'm, I've got all my ducks in a row and I'm perfect and I'm a brilliant public speaker or something. Because that doesn't give anyone else permission to be real. And I want to give you permission to be as real as you can and as transparent as you can as well, because I think that's really valuable. So I've wanted to be as real as I can. And today that's what my message is for today. That's what's up for me, and I didn't think it would be much to share, but there you go. 10, 11 minutes in, and I've done a whole video. Well, I hope it's helpful for you. I can promise you that I am aiming towards being more and more heart-centered and coming from deeper and deeper connected spaces while I do these videos for you, so that I can help you connect with that in yourself if that's what you're looking for. So, have I given you permission in some way today to be more real and honest about what you're going through and what your strengths are and what your areas of learning and growth and less perfection are? I hope I have. And, I guess our practice for today then is to see if we can't bring that more into our interactions with people in daily life, that level of transparency and honesty and, just really being okay with ourselves as we are. We're good enough. You are good enough as you are. And I am good enough as I am. And the more I can practice that, the more I can share that blessing with others. So I guess that's all. I hope you have an absolutely delightful, delicious day of being 100% in your own truth and 100% loving and accepting of who you are and where you are in this moment. So I will chat with you again tomorrow. Have a lovely one. Blessed be.